Hi, I'm Nick Palmisano,
And I'm Matt Finney.
and this is this year's last Bad News Network. Folks, it's been a hell of a year after a hell of a year. 2021 promised to be the beginning of the second roaring 20s after the depression that was 2020. It was not. I know this to be true. I've personally had quite a year. My wife underwent 1 major and 7 minor surgeries. She's doing great now. My new startup, Dieseljack Media, has kept me traveling all over the country. I went to Afghanistan to save American citizens and refugees. I wrote a book with Tim Kennedy, one of my best friends in the world. Available now for pre-order. It's called Scars and Stripes. And just when I finished all of that and thought I was finally going to be able to relax and enjoy the end of the year decided to put some punctuation on it. I just spent the last 10 days holed up in a hotel in Chicago because my brief NYC trip resulted in COVID. For those of you who care, the first 2 days sucked, the rest wasn't so bad. I know many of you had a tough year as well. It's been an ass kicker. And that's why I really want you to enjoy the holiday this year. I don't care if you're spending it with a huge family or you're spending it alone. Take a little time to appreciate the struggle we've all lived through and give yourself a small respite. Do something nice for yourself, but also do something nice for someone else. It'll help you recharge. Appreciate every trip we have around the sun, and in light of the last 2 years, maybe especially appreciate this one. 2022 is going to be a year, like this past one, full of opportunity and hope. We'll probably blow it like we always do, but hey, you at least have to try. We're taking next week off, and we look forward to seeing you again in the new year. Have a tremendously Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia caused a stir this week after he announced his intention not to support Biden's Build Back Better Act. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, with a P, lashed out saying that Manchin promised to go along with their plans and now he's not, so she hates him, everyone hates him. Manchin is a stupid name anyway, and plus he's stupid and ugly. I may have paraphrased a little, but essentially the Biden administration got put on its heels by Manchin's announcement, and it's reeling. Manchin stated that after 5.5 months, he could not find a way to support the measure that would inject $1.7 trillion into an already inflation-heavy U.S. economy. He said the American people deserve transparency as to the true cost of Build Back Better, one that would raise the prices of gas, food, and bills to no clear end. He also stated that he could not back a bill that would both increase our dependence on foreign resources and our national debt. Both, he stated, will put America in a dangerously vulnerable position. The Biden administration, through Psaki with a P, has stated it will not stop trying to push the act through. For now, however, it looks like they'll have to take this one square on the Manchin.
Monkey business has gotten out of hand in Majalgaon, India. According to reports, the monkey population has taken up revenge killing dogs in retaliation after local wild dogs killed a young monkey. This revenge war has been going on for a month, and reports have said that the monkey maniacs have gone after small children as well as canines. In reports, we've been told that monkeys have been snatching up smaller dogs and throwing them off buildings. Local authorities have been doing all they can to catch the monkeys responsible, but have been having slim success. This past week, villagers managed to rescue a small puppy that was being held hostage by a monkey for 3 days. Local residents have been getting frustrated and calling for the kicking of the local monkeys. Scientists say that revenge killing isn't uncommon in monkeys. They will usually go after their aggressor's family rather than the aggressors themselves, telling us that they've watched way too many mafia movies. It is unclear as to what actions will be taken about this problem, but for now, the monkeys will certainly just continue to go ape.
YouTuber Jake Paul starched former UFC champion Tyron Woodley this past weekend in a boxing match. There were mixed feelings about this, argued hotly across the internet. I have to be honest, I don't have an emotional opinion about it. I grew up watching both professional boxing and tough man fights and enjoyed both. Boxing is one of the oldest forms of unarmed combat and considered the foremost classic mano-a-mano tests of skill to settle disputes. If two guys want to step into the square ring and throw hands to a decisive end, I'm all for it. Those who are mad about the attention and money being thrown at the spectacle have the option not to pay to watch it. But millions will, because everyone has always loved hyped up fights. It's a mix of drama and fistic violence, which is what people will pay to watch. I don't care if Jake Paul hand chooses his opponents. It's his show, and he's getting you to watch it. There's the opinion piece. If you don't follow any of this, it's just two guys who threw punches until one got dropped. A story as old as dirt.
Word is, our friend on Mars has discovered water on the desert planet. FRIEND, short for Fine Resolution Epithermal Neutron Detector, relayed thermal pictures of a giant subterranean water deposit in the planet's equivalent of the Grand Canyon named Valles Marineris. The deposit measured just under 16,000 square miles and is located a few meters under the soil. Scientists are excited because this could mean access to water for future manned missions. While this is all great news, it still doesn't solve the real problem of those pesky giant murder worms, keeping us from harvesting the spice melange.
Hong Kong held its first legislative elections since the CCP ended its democratic process. They called the election the Patriots-only election, which, as it turned out, there aren't that many patriots, with reports that a voter turnout was a record low. According to the news release, voter turnout was a mere 30%. The CCP shills tried to entice voters to show up by making public transportation free. Instead of going to cast a useless vote for the people the CCP has already deemed they will install anyways, the majority of people used the public transportation opportunity to go to the mountains for a hike or go camping. Hong Kong's pro-democracy party didn't even bother to put any candidates forward, which, why would they? Monday, city leader Carrie Lam announced the election results of a pro-establishment sweep. I don't know if there's been a bigger puppet in recent history than Carrie Lam. She may be the biggest sellout shill we've seen outside of the movie realm, but I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting plenty of others. More like Carrie Lam, but I digress. Many pro-democracy advocates who fled abroad called for the boycott of the sham elections. Naturally, the CCP authorities issued warrants for their arrest. The 30% turnout is a stark contrast to the 71% voter turnout in 2019, when the people of Hong Kong were still under the impression that their votes mattered. Lam vomited some measure of spin about how that's actually a good thing now, and the world couldn't roll its collective eyes harder. But sure, maybe those massive protests for democracy were actually just really metal parades celebrating subjugation. Or maybe...
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
And finally, in Florida Man news, Florida man Adam Jen has been banned from flying with United Airlines after they booted him off his flight for wearing a thong for a face mask. Adam alleged that he had worn the mask for some 20 flights, even being kicked off a Delta flight for the same hijinks. The United flight attendants weren't having it, however, and gave him the boots. It was not reported whether or not Adam was arrested, jailed, or fined because, mask mandates aren't an actual law. We don't know the actual rules when it comes to face panties on a plane, though. Maybe if they were bloomers. Either way, Adam Jen deplaned with the thong. When asked if he was vaccinated, Jen told reporters it was none of their business, and he was unaware of any rules against creative mask wearing. And with that, I'm Nick Palmisano.
And I'm Matt Finney.
And this is the Bad News Network. Our news is at least as bad as the news you're getting already, and once again, I want you guys to have a phenomenal Christmas, a happy new year, and take care of yourself. As always, you can get 25% off at rangerup.com when you use the code BNN. Be good to each other.